With us, we'll first this hour to the Middle East, where Israeli forces have continued to pound southern Lebanon while Hezbollah fighters fire rockets targeting IDF troops. The violence coming just hours after the Israeli and Lebanese governments agreed what they're describing as a fresh ceasefire deal. But it's been firmly rejected by the Iran-backed militant group, which is instead demanding the withdrawal of Israeli troops. Well, 8 people have been killed in the latest strikes, including 3 children, while a Serbian peacekeeper has also died from wounds sustained in mortar fire late on Wednesday. Well, let's cross live now to Beirut, where France 24's Antonia Kerrigan is standing by for us. Antonia, despite the deaths of another 8 people in Lebanon, we've also heard that an Israeli soldier has died today as well. We heard a little bit earlier from our correspondent in Jerusalem that the fighting appears a little less intense on the ground today. Tell us, what's the mood like where you are? How are people feeling in Beirut?
Well, in the hours that followed that announcement this morning, the reactions were sceptical and sometimes even angry at this announcement of a ceasefire. One displaced woman we met at a camp next to the port of Beirut, who's been living in a tent for the last 3 months with her 2 young children, said this agreement, this announcement is nothing short of a lie. She says it brings them no hope even of going back home. She also pointed to the dull rumble of a drone that we've been able to hear overhead for much of the day here in the capital, and said that doesn't feel like the beginning of a ceasefire. Now, in addition as well to the more than 40 Israeli airstrikes on Lebanese soil since that announcement this morning, an IDF spokesperson didn't lose much time just a few hours after that announcement. He went on Twitter to warn anyone from the south to refrain from returning home, saying to do so would be to put their lives in danger. So there are a lot of reasons for the Lebanese people to be suspicious and concerned about what Israel has planned, and their sincerity, of course, going forward into this.
And Antonia, as we say, Hezbollah firmly rejecting these latest efforts to reach some kind of a deal to end the fighting. How is the militant group responding to demands that armed factions withdraw from the region below the Litani River?
Well, the initial reaction this morning from Nawaf al-Massawi, a spokesperson for the Hezbollah's Foreign Affairs Office, said these are negotiations with someone who is not there. And he said, as a result, the results of these negotiations would end up, quotes, in the bin. So not even outrage, just complete dismissal. Later on in the day, the Hezbollah leader had stronger language. He described this announcement as a capitulation and said that making disarmament the primary focus of an agreement amounts to weakening Lebanon in the face of aggression. Now, of course, the Lebanese government committed to disarming the group back in 2024. Very evidently, they have not succeeded. And that's, of course, another source of incredulity for a lot of Lebanese people, seeing this announcement that is contingent on Hezbollah complying with conditions that they have not agreed to, nor are they perhaps likely to. I mean, certainly they haven't so far. Hezbollah have, of course, later on today further backed up their words with actions in rejecting the terms of the agreement. They say they have continued to target Israeli positions in southern Lebanon, including, of course, close to Beaufort Castle that was captured at the beginning of this week.
Antonia, we'll leave it there for now. Thanks so much for joining us with all of that. That's our very own Antonia Kerrigan joining us live tonight there from Beirut.